Good morning, and welcome to Finding Freedom from Addiction podcast. My name is Ken Metcalf, and I'm your host, and this is Morning Meat. It's Mother's Day, so I've been thinking about my wife and my mother who's since passed, and my Mama Judy who adopted me, and my pastor that calls me her son. I was thinking about the women in my life, and then I began to think about the Shunammite woman, who her and her husband had made a room in their house so that the prophet could come and have a place to stay on his journeys. And time went on, and the prophet came, and the prophet left, and the prophet came, and the prophet left. And the woman's son, whom the prophet prayed over for her to have, came, and then he died. And the Shunammite woman went to find the prophet. And when she got there, the prophet said to her, "How are you?" And she said, "All is well." I've said this often in my life. I've used this phrase to describe my life when it seemed to be in a terrible condition, and people would ask me, "How are you?" And my answer would be, "All is well." It was all as well because this woman was a praying woman and a woman full of faith. She believed in God and believed that the man of God could perform what she needed. She needed her son to live and not die. So she could not profess, "My son's dead. I need you to come, do a miracle, do something." She said, "All is well." She knew, regardless, that all is well. I think about my wife who prays for our family. She has a list, she has cards. She prays not only for our family, but she prays for our friends and she prays for our children. Not just our biological children, but our adoptive children and our adopted children's children. She prays for our friends, prays for our extended families, my brother, my sister, her cousins, her sister's husband. The list goes on and on and on. And she's faithful in these prayers, as the Shunammite woman was faithful to God. On this Mother's Day, honor your wife if you have one. Honor your mother if you have one. Honor the women in your life that have filled the role as mother to you if you have those. But most of all this morning, honor God.